Okay, so for my next webinar, I am going to talk just a little bit about doing online searches for industry information. There's two main sources that I want to talk about. One is the First Research Industry Profiles database. So if we go to the databases section of the library website, sort things by title, and we scroll down to the letter F for First Research, you'll notice this takes us to a page that says ProQuest at the top. ProQuest is actually an umbrella like search engine that searches dozens and dozens of different databases. So we're actually telling ProQuest just to select the First Research Industry Profiles database when we click on that First Industry Research Profiles link. So there's a couple ways to use this search. I always like to use the advanced search option. It gives us a little bit more robust options. So you'll notice here pub ID 51791. That's actually the code for ProQuest to say that we're just going to look for documents that are in the publication with the ID number 51791, which is the number for First Research Industry Profiles. So now, if we wanted to look for petroleum, for example, a common industry in Kern County here, I know from doing this before that we're going to get a lot of results. So to make it a little bit easier, I'm just going to limit the search to the last 12 months of results and then click search. So that gives us all kinds of different things that have the word petroleum in them: refined petroleum pipelines, petroleum products wholesalers, petroleum refining. I'm going to choose petroleum refining here as the example. And you'll notice this opens up a PDF document. You can either view it in the viewer right here or download it and actually open it to save it to your computer. I'm going to go ahead and open it to give us a little bit more robust editing and scanning through functionality. So make this a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll make it 100%. There we go. So all of these profiles have the same basic structure to them. They start out with the title at the top here. They've got a little bit of summary information about First Research as a company, and then a bunch of great information about the industry in general. So if you either A, are going into this industry or working in this industry for your career, or B, are trying to start a business in this industry or trying to service customers in a certain industry, these reports give you all kinds of useful information about the general landscape of an industry that you're interested in. So you've got an overview here at the top. If we scroll down some more, it gives you kind of a growth rating, some recent things about quarterly updates, some forecasts about the future of the industry economically, some great topics here on critical issues, business challenges. These are things that I talk about, including in driving forces of change research for case analysis profiles. But more broadly speaking, they're just great things to think about when you're thinking about where an industry that you're interested in is going in the future. It presents trends, opportunities, gives you some nice things here at the bottom on issues that some of the major executives that work in this industry face. Useful for conversation when you're talking with people in different positions in the industry. Also useful to prompt yourself about if you're planning a career in doing some of these functions in the future. Conversation starters, call prep questions. So if you're going to be on a call or in a meeting that has to do with petroleum, these are some good things to know how to talk about. Scrolling down, there's a bunch of great financial information for the industry at the bottom, including average financial ratios for the entire industry. You'll notice here they're actually organized by all companies, large companies, medium companies, and small companies. So you can also get an idea of how some of the ratios are different depending on the size of the company. And suggestions of industry association websites down at the bottom. Just great stuff in general. Terms that are important in the industry. This is one of the really great databases that we have at Cal State, and it has lots and lots of different industries, and each of these reports is just chock full of useful information. So I highly recommend using that. I'm going to go back to the search here, and I want to point something out. You'll notice here the NAICS code. Now, this is North American Industrial Classification System, 324110. We could also, if you knew the code of the industry you're looking for, rather than typing petroleum, you could simply put in that code, and it will bring back the results just for, you'll notice we had 222 results before. This is just 8 results. So these are just the reports on that particular subsegment of petroleum as opposed to any industry that has the name petroleum in it. So if you know the exact NAICS code that you're looking for, you can type that in and it'll bring you to much more specific reports. There's not a report available for every single NAICS code in existence, but they do have them for a lot of them. So very good resource here. The other thing I want to point out, and this is kind of segueing on the tail end of what I was just presenting, industry associations. So if we go beyond first research and just go to do a Google search, it is amazing the information you can find on industry association websites. So, there was a list in first research that gave us a lot of suggestions of the names of petroleum industry associations. You could always also just go into Google and type in petroleum industry association, and this will list all kinds of associations that in one way or another are industry associations for petroleum. So Global Oil and Gas Industry Association, American Petroleum Institute, Oil and Gas Trade Industry Associations. This gives a list of different associations for petroleum around the world. Independent Petroleum Association of America, all kinds of organizations. Each one of these, if you go to their website, so there we go, click on that.
Congratulations.
Of course, we don't want to be the lucky visitor. We want to just see the association. So whenever you do a Google search, sometimes there's crap that you have to deal with. But if you navigate around it a little bit, you'll find good stuff. So this happens to be a place where that link was basically tagged with an advertiser in some way that we had to get rid of. So no, I do not want to change the color scheme. So you'll notice here issues and policies, meetings and events. You've got lists of upcoming meetings of the association, D.C., Houston. Looks like most of these are, they got one in Georgia there, Colorado. I don't see any here in California. San Francisco, so that's not bad. But all kinds of useful stuff. These are all meetings where you could go meet people in the industry, just network in general. They've got reports, statistics, all kinds of useful information. List of cooperating associations. The websites of industry associations are tremendously rich sources of information as well. And you can see here, just on this website, this association talks about all of the other associations that have something to do with petroleum, and you'll see there's probably 3 or 4 dozen listed here. It's amazing how many nonprofit organizations there are to organize companies in different industries. And they all do a great job of providing useful information, both for networking and just for understanding an industry better. So in addition to the results that you achieve from these sort of more official and organized first research industry profiles, I highly recommend just surfing around Google and finding different associations that are associated with the industry in some way and starting to surf around their websites. Another great source of industry information. And that is it for this webinar. We'll move on next with more general best practices research.